All right, hello. I am back. Welcome to Andrea Speaks TV. I'm your host, Andrea, and I'm bringing you commentary you can use. So, this is episode 59. That's right, y'all. This is episode 59, and I am coming to give you an update on what's happening in the country of Austria. You all know, those of you all who follow the channel, you subscribe to the channel. If you are not already a subscriber, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can stay informed and connected when I do upload new content every week. But for those of you who tune in with me, you all know that recently, just last week, I brought you some news on what was going on in the country of Austria. The fact that for the people, hold on just a minute, y'all. Thought I had to sneeze. Okay. For the people who chose, for whatever reason, the people who chose not to get a certain thing, they were being, they had mandatory lockdowns. And what I mean by they chose not to get a certain thing, you all know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, for whatever reason, they chose not to get the thing. Those people were put on a mandatory lockdown in the country of Austria. So tonight, I want to come to you all with an update in this episode 59 and talk to you all about exactly what's going on in the country of Austria. There has been a turn of events, and I feel like even though I know myself, I don't live in the country of Austria, I'm here in the United States. And even if you are watching and you say, well, you know what, this doesn't sound like something I should even listen to because I'm not in Austria, I would advise you to listen and take notes and pay attention, because who was to say that something like this would or would not happen in your country or in the area where you live. So I want to come on tonight and give you some updates about the nationwide lockdown that's going on in Austria and the fact that people are protesting. So I want to give you some information on that. So if this is your first time tuning in, I do want to welcome you to the channel. I am Andrea, the host of Andrea Speaks TV, where I come on every week and I bring you commentary you can use. So I want to say thank you all so much for tuning in, whether you're watching now live or watching by replay. I just want to let you know that I appreciate you for supporting the channel. Okay. Also, another way that you can support the channel is by purchasing Andrea Speaks TV merchandise. I do have mugs, I have t-shirts, hoodies. I also have water bottles as well as mouse pads, other items. You can check out the link in the description of this video. If you would like to support the channel, help the channel grow, you can make your purchase. The items will be sent directly to you. Okay. Also, if you are on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at Andrea Speaks TV. I would like to grow my Instagram following. So again, if you are on Instagram, just follow me on Andrea Speaks TV and I will follow you back. You all know we're living in a time where there has been talk of food shortages, water shortages, different things that are going on. And so if there's ever a time where we need to be prepared, that time is now. So make sure you check out my website, which is preparewithandrea.com. I have emergency food supply as well as survival needs. Again, make sure you check out preparewithandrea.com. All right, y'all. So let's get into tonight's topic of discussion, where I'm talking about the fact that in the country of Austria, now not only was there a lockdown for people who chose not to get the certain thing, but now the country is in a nationwide lockdown and people are protesting. So I want to give you some information on that as well as get your thoughts. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Again, I first want to say thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I know that there are probably millions of YouTube channels out there, but there may have been a certain video, or maybe someone recommended my channel for you to watch and subscribe to. And so I want you to know that I am thankful, and I appreciate your support. Please make sure that you like this video. If you find the information to be helpful, like this video. Also leave a comment. I would like to know your thoughts on the information that I do share in the video. And be sure to subscribe so you can stay informed and connected with me when I do upload new content every week. All right, y'all. So let us talk about it. I'm going to go to the next slide here. You all know that I do report factual information. And so the information, the article that I am sharing with you tonight comes from BBC News. Okay, tonight's information is presented from the article BBC News, and the article, I did mark out one of the words. You all can see what it says, but I want to discuss the fact that Austria, the country of Austria, which is in Europe, is back in a lockdown despite protests. So let's talk about that, y'all. Okay, now, according to the article, this comes from BBC News. Austria, the European country of Austria, has returned to a full national lockdown as protests again. I'm sorry. Austria has returned to a full national lockdown as protests against new restrictions aimed at curbing the certain thing that's going on now, infections spread across Europe. Okay, now according to the article, it says from midnight, Austrians have been asked to work from home. Listen to this, y'all. From midnight, Austrians have been asked to work from home, and non-essential shops have closed. Okay, y'all remember around the time, I know here in the US when the pandemic first started, y'all remember when it was like that here in the US, where, you know, all of a sudden people were told to stay at home, work from home, go to school from home. You know, children were doing online virtual learning, and a lot of your restaurants, what they call non-essential businesses, a lot of non-essential businesses closed down. Y'all remember when that happened in the United States? And so here we are now in 2021, and this is, you know, they're doing that again in the country of Austria. Okay, so according to the article, again, this is on BBC News, new restrictions have sparked protests throughout Europe. All right, people clashed with police in the Netherlands and in Belgium. Now, on Saturday, the WHO, World Health Organization, we talked about in episode 58, which I filmed earlier. I talked about the World Health Organization, WHO regional director, Dr. Hans Kluge, told the BBC that unless measures were tightened across Europe, such as on the B word, wearing masks, as with passes, certain passes for a thing for venues, then according to the WHO regional director, this person is saying that 500,000 lives could be lost by next spring. Now, isn't that concerning? The fact that, you know, based on whatever data that they're using, according to the World Health Organization, the regional director, now y'all listen to this. According to this person, okay, they're saying that unless measures were tightened across Europe, such as on the V word, wearing masks, and with passes for a certain thing for venues, according to this person, 500,000 lives will be lost by the next spring. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that news. Now, according to the article, again, this is on BBC News. Last week, Austria became the first European country to make a certain thing, the jab, a legal requirement with the law due to take effect in February. Okay, now listen to this, y'all. Okay. So again, last week, Austria became the first European country to make the certain thing. Okay, you all know what is being pushed now. Last week, Austria became the first European country to make the thing a legal requirement, with the law due to take effect in February. Okay. Politicians in neighboring Germany, the article says, are debating similar measures as intensive care units their fill up and case numbers hit fresh records. Okay. Again, this information is being reported by BBC News. Now, the caption in the article that I'm showing on the screen, you all can see it looks like what are police officers there. And the caption says, water cannons and tear gas are fired at protesters in Brussels. Okay, you all let me know how you all feel about that. Now, again, for whatever reason, these people are saying, "Hey, we don't want to get the thing," and they're protesting. And according to the caption again, water cannons and tear gas are being fired at these protesters in Brussels. How do you all feel about that? Let me know your thoughts on that. Okay. Now, this is Austria's fourth national lockdown since the pandemic began. Okay, let me repeat, y'all. This is Austria's fourth national lockdown since the pandemic began. Now, according to the article, authorities have ordered residents, listen to this, y'all. Authorities have ordered residents to stay home for all but essential reasons, including work, exercise, and shopping for food. So now this lockdown is not just for the people who chose not to get a certain thing, but it is also for the people who did choose to get a certain thing. So they're doing what's called or what's being referred to as a nationwide lockdown. Okay, again, authorities have ordered residents to stay home for all but essential reasons, including work, exercise, and shopping for food. Now, here's another thing, y'all. Restaurants, bars, hairdressers, theaters, and non-essential shops must all close their doors. Okay, so again, remember how in the United States, when everything first started, remember how people were told to, don't go out unless it's to a to somewhere that was essential. So again, um, these people are being told, um, restaurants, bars, hairdressers, theaters, non-essential shops must all close their doors. What are your thoughts on that? Okay. It says these measures will continue until December 12th, although officials said they will be reassessed after 10 days. Okay. You all let me know if you can hear me. The time now where I am is almost 12 o'clock 12 o'clock a.m. So I don't want to talk too loud and wake up my family. So I hope you all can hear me. I did have to lower my voice. So I hope you all can still hear me. Okay. All right. So again, y'all, authorities have ordered residents to stay home for all but essential reasons. Okay. Including work, exercise, and shopping for food. Okay. Again, sounds a lot like what we had to do here in the United States. Okay. Restaurants, bars, hairdressers, theaters, and non essential shops must all close their doors. These measures will continue until December 12th, although officials said they will be reassessed after 10 days. All right, now, speaking on ORF TV on Sunday night, it says the health minister said the government had to, and I quote, react now. Okay. Um, and here's the quote. It says, a lockdown, a relatively tough method, a sledgehammer, okay, it was referred to as a sledgehammer, is the only option to reduce the number, and it says, of infections here, he told the broadcaster. Um, Tens of thousands of people protested in the capital, Vienna, ahead of the lockdown. Okay, so I'm going to show you all a picture of the people protesting. Again, okay, I do want to reiterate Austria has returned to a full national lockdown as protests against new restrictions aimed at curbing infections spread across Europe. From midnight, Austrians have been asked to work from home and non essential shops have closed. New restrictions have sparked protests throughout Europe. People clash with the police in the Netherlands and Belgium. Okay. Here is a picture. It says in the caption, it says rallies against Austria's new measures were held over the weekend. Okay. All right. Tens of thousands of people protested in the capital, Vienna, ahead of the lockdown, brandishing national flags and banners reading freedom. Protesters shouted resistance and booed the police. All right. So these are some of the measures that were taken by the people in Vienna. Okay. People who were protesting. Now, um, here is some comments by some of the citizens of Austria. There was someone who was a 62-year-old from the southern Carinthia region, is fully has, this person decided to get a thing, and they feel that the lockdown is not necessary. Okay, they were quoted as saying it will hurt some of the smaller businesses severely, and they might run into financial difficulties. Okay, that is definitely something to think about and take into consideration. Now, a British woman who moved to Vienna about 2 years ago has also been double jabbed. She described the protests over the weekend as what she claims are and I quote, disruptive and scary. Okay. She was quoted as saying the situation here is really tense. There is a clear divide between those who chose to get the thing and those who chose not to get it. Okay. It says about 65% of Austria's population chose to get the thing, which it says is one of the lowest rates in Western Europe. Okay, the country's daily rate has risen sharply in November, but some people are still hesitant. Okay, um, let's see. In Vienna, one lady who chose not to get the thing told the BBC that Austria's plan to make the thing mandatory amounted to a, and I quote, restriction of human rights. It's always a person's choice, she said. Okay. Now, there were also demonstrations and unrest. Several European countries saw angry protests against tougher restrictions turn violent over the weekend. In Belgium's in Belgium's in Belgium's capital, which is Brussels, demonstrators clashed with police after tens of thousands of people marched through the city center. Protesters are mainly opposed to certain passes that stop those who chose not to get the thing from entering cafes, restaurants, and entertainment venues. The march started peacefully, but some launched stones and fireworks at officers who responded with tear gas and water cannon. Okay, that's from the picture that I showed you all earlier. Okay. All right, here's another image from the protest. It says across the border in the Netherlands, rioting took place for the third night in a row. Okay, let me go back up. The previous sentence mentioned the march started peacefully, but some launched stones and fireworks at officers who responded with tear gas and water cannon. Okay, across the border in the Netherlands, rioting took place for the third night in a row. Local media reports that police arrested 15 people in the southern city of Roosendaal, where a primary school was set on fire or set ablaze. An emergency order has also been imposed in the town of Ischede to keep people off the streets overnight. Okay, so how do you all feel about this news of the protests, the nationwide lockdown, as well as the protests that are happening in the country of Austria? Okay. All right, so let me keep sharing some information with you all. Thank you all so much, those who are watching now live, or if you're watching by replay. I appreciate your support. Okay, so the image that you see here on the screen, it says, the caption says, fireworks and chaos on the streets as Dutch riots continue. Okay, now on Saturday, it says people hurled fire at police and set fire to bicycles, like what you see on the screen, in The Hague. Okay, that followed what Rotterdam's mayor called, and I quote, an orgy of violence on Friday when officers opened fire after protesters threw rocks and fireworks and set police cars ablaze. Okay, so again, I wanted to show you all some pictures, images. Hello, everyone who is tuning in. Thank you all so much for joining me. I want to know your thoughts. I shared with you all in previous videos that in the country at the time, in the country of Austria, those people who chose for whatever reason, they made the decision what they felt like was best for them. They chose not to get a certain thing, and because that, they were put by the Austrian government on a nationwide, or not nationwide at the time, but on a lockdown, where the people who chose not to get a certain thing, they were told that they can only go to work, to school. They were restricted on where they could go, where they could and could not go, simply because they chose not to get a certain thing. So I would like to know your thoughts. Those of you all who are watching now live, if you are not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you subscribe so that you can stay connected and informed when I do upload new content every week. So again, I want to thank you all so much for your support and for being here with me getting this information. Okay, now, 4 people, the article says, this again comes from the BBC News. 4 people thought to have been hit by police bullets remain in the hospital, authorities said on Sunday. Okay, now the Netherlands is under a 3-week nationwide partial lockdown, forcing restaurants to shut earlier and banning fans at sports events. Okay, protesters are also angry at a ban on fireworks on New Year's Eve, and government plans to introduce a V word, you all know what I'm talking about, pass for indoor venues. So in other words, it sounds like, if you did choose for whatever reason to get a certain thing, they're going to give you a pass, and then you use that pass to get into the sports venues. Okay, I'm in the US as well. Okay, thank you so much for your support. So how do you feel about that? The fact that, people's, you can look at this as, people's livelihood um, is being taken simply because they chose to, whether it was to believe in the power of their own immune system, or, maybe based on their research, they say, you know what, I don't feel comfortable putting something like that in my body. For whatever reason, these people chose not to get the thing. And so because they made that choice, what they feel like was best for themselves, now they can't go. There are certain places where they can and can't go. Those of y'all who are watching now live, how do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? What if that were you in that position? Would you want it to be where just because you chose um, not to get a certain thing, would you want to be told, well, because you didn't get it, you can't go here or you can only go there? How does that make you feel? Now it says, okay, protesters are also angry at a ban on fireworks on New Year's Eve and government plans to introduce a pass for indoor venues. Okay. Thousands of demonstrators were also on the streets in Croatia's capital on Saturday, while in Denmark, around 1,000 people protested in Copenhagen against government plans to order public sector workers to get the thing in order to enter workplaces. Okay, sounds similar to what we have experienced here in the United States, right? All right, it also says that some 38 people were reportedly arrested, and special police forces were sent to the island on Sunday in a bid to quell the unrest after protesters ransacked and torched shops. Okay, so again, I wanted to come to you all and give you an update on what exactly is going on in the country of Austria. People who it started, being where, well, actually, um, it says, as I reported, that this is the fourth nationwide lockdown. And then just last week, it went from being, instead of the nationwide lockdown, they focused on locking down or attempting to lock down the people who, for whatever reason, they chose not to get a certain thing. I personally believe that it should be, in this particular situation, whether or not to take this thing, it should be a personal choice, whether you choose to get it or whether you don't choose to get it. I don't feel that that's something that should be a legal requirement. Um, I think that people should have the choice. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for leaving your comments. Okay. All right. Someone was just sharing their experience. Okay. Again, I feel like it should be a choice. It should not be something that was um, forced on someone in order to keep a job or in order to go here or in order to go, to a particular place. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Um, you know, I think one thing that I want people to see in this situation, and I shared this I've said this before. I feel like there's a certain groups of people, particularly I feel like in the Black community, where people are being targeted to get this thing. And I feel like, this is something now, as I said before, this is an issue that is happening on another side of the world in Europe. And some people may look at this and say, okay, Andrea, why should I care about this? Some people may say, why should I care about this? This is happening in Austria. But what I would say is, I would think that now that we know this is going on, um, you may want to pay attention to it, because who is to say that there's not someone sitting around? These countries, they communicate with each other, and they have these global summits and global meetings where the leaders, they're coming together, whether it's world leaders or designated officials or business people, they're coming together, and they're discussing, okay, how can we save the world, or whatever their agenda is. And who is to say that something like this would not be tried, or they wouldn't try to do this same thing here in the United States. Another thing that I want people to see is that there are people who are standing up and are not going for this. There was one comment that I was reading earlier where it was from a citizen. Let me see if I can find it. This is a comment from someone. Let's see. Let me go back to it. This is from someone who said, it says, a 62-year-old from the Southern Carinthia region. That person chose to get the thing, but they feel like the lockdown is not necessary. They were quoted saying it will hurt some of the smaller businesses severely, and they might run into financial difficulties. So, think about, even here in the US, when everything first happened with the pandemic and all of these businesses shut down and everyone was told to go home and work from home and go to school from home, there was some financial, um, there were, there were some businesses who, it impacted people and businesses financially, as well as emotionally, just in different ways. And, you know, this person, was saying that even though they chose for whatever reason to get the thing, they felt like lockdowns weren't necessary because it was going to hurt small businesses, putting people out of work, things like that. So let me know your thoughts. Let's see. Okay. Let me know your thoughts on this news. I would like for you to comment if you have not already commented On the very next slide, I'm asking the question, what are your thoughts on the lockdowns and protests over the new legal requirement? You all know what I mean by that, in the country of Austria. So if you have not already commented, please make sure that you leave your comment below. Okay, again, I would like to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the lockdowns and the protests over the new legal requirement? Okay, you all know what they're trying to get people to take, what they're trying to get people to do. I would like to know, what are your thoughts? What concerns, if any, do you have on the lockdowns and the protests over the new legal requirement in the country of Austria? Okay. All right. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. We are on talking about the lockdowns and protests in the country of Austria. What are your thoughts on the lockdowns and protests over the new legal requirement in the country of Austria? Okay. All right, y'all. And if you did not catch episode 58, I did record. This is my second video tonight. Um, and if you have not already checked out episode 58, where I talked about vials of smallpox being found in a lab freezer in Pennsylvania, although the only two approved locations where something like that should be found are at the CDC in Atlanta and also a center or lab in Russia. Please make sure you check out that video. Also, check out the many videos that I have on the channel. I have over 70 videos full of information and commentary you can use. And I just want to say thank you all so much for supporting Andrea Speaks TV. The channel is growing, and I could not do that without your support. So I really appreciate you all so much. Please, if you found the information in this video to be helpful, you say, Andrea, you know what, this was a really good discussion. Maybe you had no idea this was going on, and you say, you know what, Andrea, I learned something. Make sure you hit the like button, give me feedback, leave a comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. So thank you all so much for watching and for tuning in. Where I am on the East Coast, it is 12:17 a.m. But I wanted to make time. I thought this was something important to share with you all. Again, even if you're not in Austria, I'm in the United States. If you're not there, it's something that we need to pay attention to. We need to ask questions about. And we need to say, hey, you know what? Is it right? Is this right for the government to tell people, hey, you must get the thing? Is this something that should be done? You know, are these lockdowns even necessary? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But again, I wanted us to come on and have this discussion. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. And again, I want to thank you all so much for supporting Andrea Speaks TV. Again, like the video, give me some feedback, leave a comment, and also be sure to subscribe to the channel. So I'm going to go ahead and yeah, you know, it was a lot of challenges last year being on lockdown all of those months. You know, several people experienced challenges from working from home, going to school from home, businesses closed down, people having to rely on assistance from whether it was the government or help from family members or friends. It was a lot of challenges for a lot of people. And so, you know, I don't know that people will want to experience something like that again, but, you know, we just gotta, you know, we gotta make a plan to, you know, help our family, friends, loved ones get through the times that we're living in. And that's what the channel is all about. So again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so that you can stay informed and connected when I do upload new content every week. And again, I want you to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Give me some feedback on the on tonight's episode 59. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can stay connected. So again, I want to say thank you all so much. I appreciate you all staying up. It is 12:19 a.m. on the East Coast. where I am, and I have a lot of things to do. Tomorrow, you all know, for those of us who are going to be doing some cooking for this upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. Uh, it's a busy week. So I'm going to be doing several things these next coming days. Make sure you subscribe so that you can be notified when I do go live. Or if for some reason, because I don't know, always how YouTube works, if you're not notified, at least if you're subscribed to the channel and you go to your homepage or you click on YouTube, you'll see my videos, my new videos as I upload them on your YouTube feed. So again, thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I am Andrea, the host of Andrea Speaks TV, where I bring you commentary you can use. So if you're someone who you're concerned about the times that we're currently living in, you're looking for truth, you're looking for solutions, then join the community, our community right here on Andrea Speaks TV. So thank you all so much. Take care. Be blessed, and I'll be back soon. My next episode will drop on tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe so you won't miss it. Take care, and I will see you all next time. Take care, y'all. Good night.